Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkite Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Every night, 7 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube. You know what it is. And I am the 5-star general. Tonight, we're going to talk about school and kids. And I'm going to go hard in the paint. As usual. Y'all sit back. Let's do this, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out for tuning in. Because you know, without you guys, I would not have a show. And it wouldn't be nothing without you. I can honestly tell you that. We had a show planned tonight, and at the last minute, I get information that it's not going to pop. The subject matter we were going to talk about, we're not going to talk about because attorneys got involved in regards to a little girl who was given drugs in her elementary school by a cafeteria worker. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. What we are going to talk about is how parents can be more accountable for their children in these schools. And at the same time, let's talk about the law in general in regards to how you handle situations in schools. And I get calls every day, all day long, every day from parents who are dealing with a lot of different issues when it comes to schools. Kids may be being bullied. You never know. Teachers may be bullying the kids. I mean, excess, kids are being targeted and jumped on and different things. And tonight, I just want to give you some general information on what you can use or possibly pass down to one of your friends so that you can be armed and dangerous with this knowledge so that you know how to do what you do. First things, every single day, my phone rings. In regards to some type of school or school system basically messing over children. And I get this every day. Every single day. Not a day goes by that my phone does, it doesn't ring. I mean, every day it rings. And you hear the horror story on the phone, and I listen attentively. And then I give the parents the options of what they can and cannot do. And a lot of parents will come and tell me, well, I'm going to call an attorney. Well, did you know that most school districts have most of the attorney firms on retainers? So the attorney that you're going to call 9 times out of 10 is not going to tell you that they have their firm on a retainer fee from a local school district. Have you ever noticed how hard it is to get help from attorneys when you have to fight against a school district? Oh, well, you can't sue school districts. That's a lie. In the state of Texas, school districts have immunity when it comes to lawsuits, unless they're in violation of the law. So if they're in violation of the law, the immunity goes out the window. Now, when you decide you want to go and get an attorney, that's your business. You got 2 options. You can get an attorney or you can get an advocate like me. I'm not trying to sell myself. I told you my phone ring every day, all day long. I turn down assignments, man. So I'm not trying to get you to be a client with me. Not doing that. What I'm giving you is your options. You can get an attorney or you can get an advocate like me. Now, I specialize in this. 10 years deep. This is what I do. Wake up doing it every single day. Can somebody show me in every city, can you name five attorneys that specialize in education law. You won't find them. So therefore, the average attorney who tells you, I'm going to take your case, and this just happened to a lady in Katy with me. She went with the attorney. She didn't know me at the time. Went with the attorney. The attorney tried to cut a deal with the school district to send her child to alternative school. The child didn't deserve to go to alternative school. But for over a month and a half, the kid had not been to class. He had not been to school. Mom wouldn't let him go to school because she wasn't sending her child to alternative school. But the attorney kept telling mom that there was no way around it. Somebody put her in contact with me. And in less than 2 days, really about 2 days of me just working it, what that attorney said couldn't be done in a month and a half got done in 2 days. Mom wanted her kid to not have that the alternative disciplinary infraction on his permanent record. I got that removed. She wanted him to go to another school in another district, a nice high quality school. I got that done. So what this attorney said that they could do, but they didn't specialize in education law, I got done in 2 days. So before you go run to an attorney, go to somebody who's an expert. You see what I'm saying? Go to somebody who's an expert, not necessarily me, but go to somebody that knows what the hell they're doing when they're dealing with the future of your child. And I'm going to be honest with you, especially in Texas, that most attorneys don't specialize in education law. And education law is far different than criminal law. It's far different than accident law. It's way different. And a lot of parents don't know how to navigate the proper channels in order to do that. Now, I don't care what school district you're in around the country, but if you don't put stuff in writing, listen to what I'm saying, because there's a trick to it. If you don't put stuff in writing when you have an issue with a school system, you will never get anything done. Oh, well, I tell you what, Mr. Monroe, I've emailed the superintendent and I've emailed the board members. That ain't the in writing I'm talking about. Man, go file an official complaint. When you file an official complaint, you start a paper trail. You also have legislative law that is there to back up your paper trail. So they have X amount of days to respond to your actual complaint. But sending a letter to the school board members who really don't give a damn about your child will never get your stuff expedited, will never get your stuff solved, because by law, they're not obligated to deal with it. When you send a letter to the superintendent, by law, he's not obligated to deal with it. So that's where a lot of y'all mess up when you're trying to solve issues, because one, you get to the point where you think that you're smarter than everybody else. Well, I'm sorry. This is what I do. And sometimes people don't want to hear the truth when we have to deal with certain issues. If you have an issue and you can't prove the school system didn't violate the law, it doesn't matter how erroneous that issue is, you cannot file a lawsuit. You can, but you ain't gonna go nowhere. You're not gonna go anywhere with it. So my question is, if you can educate yourself on everything else, why don't you educate yourself on education law? A lot of people just think that I do things a certain way, or I'm loud, I'm boisterous, I'm belligerent, and I'm effective. I am effective because I know the laws of the educational component. They got school board members that sit on school boards all over the country that don't even have the knowledge that I have when it comes to education law. So I want to ask, I want to challenge you parents to go out there and educate yourself on education law, especially if you have a child that's in a school system. It's frustrating to me because I know I would not allow my child to go through a smidget of what some of y'all let y'all's go through. I wouldn't do it. I would fight tooth and nail for mine. And you owe it to your kid to be able to advocate for them as tough as you can. Let me just be honest with you, man. Every education advocate is not good because advocates can make anywhere from $25 to $75 an hour. I want you to do the math on that. I've worked some assignments for 3 years. But every advocate is not a good advocate because even them, they don't know education law. So therefore, you can screw the whole situation up 100 times worse than what it initially was. So, the thing is yeah, we're going to have, every now and then we have these parental talks where I want to educate you guys, and you don't have to listen to nothing I'm saying. You don't have to listen to nothing I'm telling you. But if you got a kid in the educational component, and that's what I call schools and school districts, you owe it to yourself to be able to know the laws to get these people out. Now, in this week, well, last week, and I just posted last night that I was able to help get 2 principals removed. You saw the assignments I was working with Madison High School and also Welch Middle School. Well, both those principals have been removed. Now, whether they come back, that's up to the people on the campus because they're doing the investigation. All you got to do is open your mouth. One of them, I don't think, has a shot in hell of coming back. It's just been too much. Realistically, neither one of them should be allowed to come back. But the way that I was able to get them, yes, James, the way that I was able to get them was the violation of state and federal as well as educational laws. They didn't just violate district policy, they violated state and federal law. That's what they did. And one so erroneous, they should be in jail just like them people in Atlanta went to jail for cheating on the state mandated test. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is we have to do a better job at being in the know as far as anything that we deal with, not just education, but anything that we deal with, we need to know how to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what people say about me as far as me being loud or he's this, he's that. You wish you could be as effective as me. Some of you haters out there. But you know what? I know why you hate me. Because you ain't as good as me. And the fact is that you have to study this. I studied this. I was running a couple of minutes late tonight because I was checking my semester grades. I finished my semester the other day. I think it was Friday, Saturday, one of them days. I finished my semester. And I think I made the dean's list. I'm just waiting for this last grade to drop. So the same way that I study for those tests, I study education law. I study the stuff that I need to know so that I can be effective. So people need to understand, especially in certain communities, that I would not come to your community if you were doing your job for those schools. I would not have to advocate for those schools. But when kids call me, I'm gonna show up. It doesn't matter who it is. You know, we get the job done over here at Monroe Consultation. Um, there will be a press conference Thursday at 12 noon in Houston. Well, where are you? I'm in Minneapolis. But I set it up because there's another school that's finna get hit. Now, today I did send over some information to the superintendent of the Houston Independent School District. So I just want to let you know that I be on it, man. I really do be on it. Let's check something. Let's go. And I sent this today and I wrote an email. It says, hello, you guys are doing a great job of purging Madison High School, but none of the people that violated the law will be safe. My federal contacts are watching this closely, but at the same time, there are more people to this team of cheaters and abusers than you know. Mr. Singleton's certification expired in August of this year. How does he hold the position that he's currently in? He also knew about the cheating on the state mandated tests. You know what's so amazing? I tell him his certification expired in August. I send this email today, and Mr. Singleton gets his certification today. I don't give a damn. I got a problem with him not having it for 6 months. I hope you're listening, Mr. Superintendent. You got to wake up in the morning early, especially Hutchinson Taylor and that little girl, Katasha Woods, in your legal department. Wake up early, man. You can't get me. I said, my next thing, I said, Madison has accountability issues when it comes to money. Tanika Forbes Deese has a sanction on her certification. Is that because she stole money while employed with KDISD? How did this woman end up in our school district? If you have a sanction, how did she end up in our school district? All these criminals just popping up out of nowhere, huh? Also, Deese and Bree Westmoreland were observed changing answers to the STAR test in 2018 in the testing room. I will keep my witnesses quiet as long as the school district does what is right. Lastly, you need to have a community meeting to inform the community and parents in regards to what's going on at James Madison High School. If you fail at this task, and this is all in capitals, you will have a federal problem. And trust me, I'm not joking. So do something with the people named in this email, or I will be forced to tell the truth on a national stage. And then TEA will have the ammo to come and take your school district. There's one other thing you will need to do, but let's see how you handle this. Expect my next email by the end of the week. The clock is ticking. The reason I'm that good, the reason I can send that email, the reason I can be so cocky is because I do my homework. I do my homework. So you have two people at Madison High School that were in the testing room changing answers on the STAR test. You have an assistant principal who didn't even have the certification to sit in the position that he sat in. How did we sidestep all of these board policies at this one school? Because nobody has been paying attention. Nobody has been paying attention. Nobody really gives a damn what goes on. Not when it comes to school. So the thing is The reason I'm effective is because I go do the homework. How do I find all this stuff out? I just find out. It's easy to find out what you want to know. Whatever you want to know, you can find out. But that's why it's so important for people to clearly understand what it takes to deal with these educational components all over the country. Let me tell you what school districts ain't. They ain't scared of you. School districts are not afraid of the average person because they're billion-dollar bullies. They have more than enough money to sit in the courtroom if you sue them for 40 days and 40 nights. They could care less. They own the taxpayer dime. They could care less, man. But you, on the other hand, who has to work a 9 to 5, you saved your money up, you're paying for this attorney who doesn't know educational law, and you're trying to battle a school system. It doesn't work like that. I've been in a courtroom the one time that I went in there. The two times that I went there for the same case. So really one time I've had to deal with a court case in the school district because I know educational law and I know policy. So I don't have to go into these buildings and go and fight battles in the school, go in the courtroom and battle these school districts. I can beat them right there in the personnel office because they're not smart. These people that run your school districts are not smart. They're the average Joe Schmo. These superintendents who run your school districts, they are not as smart as they portray. They are smart in whatever they studied, but they're not smart across the board. It's pretty easy to beat a school district. It's pretty easy to beat an actual school. But you have to want to do it, and you got to do what you got to do. For example, there's something going on in Fort Bend ISD. You have a trustee who has a wife who owns a company. That company has contracts with that school district. Well, the problem is the contracts were never voted on. They were never voted on. So that means they slid this through procurement, gave this contract to this trustee's wife. In a community property state. What does that mean? That means if they are married, everything that they own is community property. So because she owns the company, technically he owns half of it. And if the contract wasn't voted on in the boardroom, that's considered a conflict of interest. But the question is how many times did they do it? So this is why I'm telling you things like that. Man, I chew these people up for breakfast, man. I would chew them up for breakfast because they're a joke. They all a joke. So that's why I'm telling you, go and do the homework, and then you're able to fight the battles a little bit better. But man, ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody afraid of no parents. They ain't afraid of no lawyers, because 9 times out of 10, that lawyer is on a retainer fee for them anyway, and he just ain't told you. This is why the lawyers don't fight. This is why certain cases, we don't take those. And your kid is in this school and you don't really have a clue. I need parents to attend more school board meetings. And the thing is they won't be able to run game in circles around you. Man, don't you know people start When they see me walk through the door, I've earned my reputation. I'm not gonna lie. Soon as I walk in the building, I'm like, dude, I ain't even said nothing. But they know if I'm there, I'm not just there to be there. I don't waste gas money. When I show up, I'm gonna show out. You could best believe that. When I show up, I'm gonna show out. So my question to you guys, if you know all of this stuff is going on in your school system and you're a black parent, when you gonna get off your black ass and fight that system? See, we got a new breed of Negro called sellouts. We don't want to fight for nothing. We don't want to stand up for nothing. We just expect everything to fix itself. You think the white folk give a damn what you say about them because they in there fighting against CRT? Or they fighting against the jab? Or they trying to make sure ain't no mandates chunked down on their kids? Do you think them white folk give a damn what you think? Hell no, because they gonna stand up for theirs. But you Latinos, oh, y'all worse than the Negroes. Y'all ain't showing up at all. But you expect us to do it for you. And then when we got a black issue, you don't show up for us at all either. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't want you to get mad at me. I just want to tell you the truth. I just want to be straight up with you. Why do y'all allow these schools and school systems to do the things that they do to your children? I'm just trying to figure that out because I really don't get it. I really don't get it. Y'all don't do nothing. Why the hell is you calling me to tell me the teacher to bust your child in the head? Why you calling me to tell me the teacher to bust your child in the head? You know why? Because you's a coward. I'm going to stand up for mine. I'm going to stand up for, I ain't worrying about no car, no job, none of that when it's time for me to stand up. So yeah, tonight we're going to talk about you standing up for your child, man. When you going to stand up for him? The hell with a press conference. I'm ready to holler at you, partner. You do something to mine, I'm ready to holler at you, man. So your child goes to a Title I school. They get federal funding, Title I federal funding, but you cannot afford a shirt, a uniform shirt for your child. Well, they keep sending my child to ISS. They suspending my child. Man, they can't do none of that. When you gonna go up in there and tell them this is a Title I school, go in the closet and get me a shirt? Y'all out here trying to get free school supplies for Title I schools? Man, you don't need no Title I. You don't need no to go get no school supplies for no Title I school. They supposed to supply that for you. If you ain't got it, they got to give it to your child. They can't penalize you for being poor. Let me say that for you again. They cannot penalize you or your child for being poor. Yeah, and Errol, we got to stop saying they don't know what to do. You know why I say that? Because you've been educating them for years. Danetta Williams been educating them for years. I've been educating them for years. Travis has been educating them. Larry's been educating them. They know. But that's this new breed of coward Negro that don't want to stand up against nothing. Just like y'all know, y'all need all this help in the community, and the politicians get all this money from the government, and then they give it to the affluent communities and leave your poor black community with nothing. But you ain't gonna say nothing, but you'll take a picture with them. You supposed to be hungry. You're supposed to be eating a bowl of rice just like them kids in Ethiopia. And I'm being straight up with you because you are not that dumb because the information is there. And you don't want to apply that information, man. You don't want to apply that information, man. I'm just telling you the truth. Y'all, I'm checking, making sure we streaming everywhere we need to stream because we going to 8 different spots now. We streaming in 8 different spots, man. So the thing is this. You have to stop lying and acting like you don't know things when the information has been out there forever. Yeah, you did know. You did know. You didn't want to battle. You didn't want to do anything. You just want to be here and think somebody else is supposed to keep fighting those battles for you. You see what I'm saying? You just think that somebody else is supposed to fight these battles for you. These are your children. If you know that your child has a substitute every day, when are you going to go to the school and demand, not ask, but demand that they get certified education? Because if your child sits in that classroom all year with a substitute teacher and that principal never sends that letter home to notify you, and then your child gets ready to take that STAR test score, take that STAR test, and they flunk it, that counts against your child. But you knew the whole year that they had a sub. You wasn't tripping because he wasn't bringing no homework home. You wasn't tripping about none of it. You were good with it. Long as he stay out your hair, you straight. Black folk, we got to do a better job of holding everybody and their mama accountable. And we're not doing it because we just want to go along to get along. I don't need to be your fucking friend. I don't need to be cool with you. Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm one of the most hated dudes in Houston, man. Especially on the political level. Now, on the personal level, I don't know why you would hate me. I ain't never did you nothing. But on the political level, yeah, I'm one of the most hated in the city. You think I give a damn? You think I care about going to the more washed up ass functions that they doing? Where they honoring people with fake doctrines and all this foolishness? Or they giving them their own day, but the people that's really doing the work, you don't honor them at all. They got a circle of friends that that's who they kick it with. So guess what? You ain't never been my friend to begin with. I don't need to go nowhere where you at. Honestly, I don't go nowhere where politicians go. If I got to be out campaigning, that's the only time you don't see me. As far as they functions, I don't want to be there. Because I have to hold them accountable. So, a lot of days we don't want to hold our friends accountable, or we don't want to hold a local politician accountable because we know him. I took a picture with Sheila Jackson Lee, Mr. Monroe. I don't give a damn. I wouldn't care who she was. So therefore, I don't want to be her friend. I want to hold her accountable. You see what I'm saying? Even though some of y'all have never met Joe Biden a day in your life, you will never hold him accountable for not doing what he said he was going to do. Because you can't. You don't have it in you. And you need to put it in you. Because as we're getting older, we won't be here in 30 to 40 years. But your kids will. And your kids going to have to live in this world where these politicians have messed it up for black folk, where they ain't gonna have nowhere to live because they don't have an education to get a decent job or the knowledge to start their own company. So they're gonna be damn near homeless because they're not gonna be able to afford to stay in the inner city where they grew up at. You see what I'm saying? You're putting them in a bad position. But if you cared, you would do something about it. But a lot of y'all don't care. So that's why you don't even try to see what common sense people are saying, because you're too busy living for the moment. You're living for today. You're not living for 30 years from now. You're not living, you're looking at your grandbaby hugging him. You're 57 years old hugging your grandchild. He less than one. You really think you're going to be here when that youngster grow up? So you ain't doing nothing to set the table for him for when we go. So that's where I would disagree with my good friend Errol Jones. He say they don't know what to do. They do know what to do. They too goddamn lazy to do it. They not going to hold these black elected officials accountable because they get all this free shit. They rent $5 a month. So they don't want to hold them accountable. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to hold them accountable. I will tell you this, ain't nothing in the world free. I don't give a damn how much free shit they giving you. Ain't nothing in the world free. Are we setting the table for our kids 30 years from now? No. No, we are not. We're setting them up to be failures. But not all of us. Some people are doing the right things. Some people are making sure that they leave legacies for their children and for their grandkids. But some of y'all are so selfish that you don't plan on leaving nothing but debt. That's how I know. And I can tell you this, I can back that statement up by the fact that you don't have life insurance. If you don't have life insurance, you're going to leave your child in debt. I'm telling you the real. Now, I ain't telling you this for you to go get none, but you know you ain't got it. So when you die, you're going to have to put your kids in beg mode, huh? But you was the dude that was at the club every Friday night. Or you was the one that was at all the functions shaking your ass. But now that you're dead, your kids got to go around and beg for money. That's the selfishness of us. And if you think about it, a lot of kids, they can't afford these funerals, which are through the roof now. So they end up with debt because you were selfish in life. How many of us do it? How many of us have done it? How many of y'all doing it right now? This is why the politicians don't respect us, because we don't respect ourselves enough to do the things that we're supposed to do as a people. This is why the black politician continuously shits on us like we nothing. Because we don't want to arm ourselves with knowledge. We don't want to arm ourselves with education. As hard as you worked to get from the hood to the suburbs, as hard as you worked to get from the hood to the suburbs, don't you want something better for your child? See, our parents were stuck in the hood. So they just wanted us to do better than them. So you did do better than them when you moved from the hood to the suburbs. But I want you to think about how hard you had to work, how much of your life you gave up because you had to work 2 jobs to make that happen. Don't you want something better for your child? This is why it's important to stay on them school systems. Make sure your kids are being educated properly. If they got the school open, they obligated to do it. Make sure that your kid get everything from the educational component, like the rich folk on the affluent side of town. Make sure your child is not being bullied on a school campus. Make sure they're obligated to take care of these things. So, from me to y'all, we're not failing our kids, we're failing at life. We're failing at life. Some of y'all just too goddamn fly to even have kids, man. Some of y'all just need to put some aluminum foil over your woodpecker. Take a stop and stop yourself up or something. Because y'all don't need to have no kids if you're not going to do right by them. And that means standing up for them against anything or anybody that comes at them. Arm yourself with the knowledge. Dr. Muhammad always says, it's more of us than it is of them. The only difference is we're not organized. We don't want to learn what we need to learn. We don't want to apply it when we need to apply it. I don't have to raise my voice at a school system anymore. I did that to get the attention I needed. But once I done slid up in the door, I'm finna give you the business. You really think I'm inside them school systems hollering and screaming like you see me at them board meetings? Hell no. I'm kicking back. Understand. Making them understand what you see and what you finna get in here. Now you got to deal with the intelligence side of me. And most school systems can't deal with it. They can't handle it. They can't fathom it. They're thrown off. So here's the next big thing for the Houston Independent School District. They're going to try to push a bond. They're going to try to push a bond, and it probably will be on the ballot maybe next November. Here's the problem. Our black folks going to stand up and make sure that our kids are taken care of in that bond? Or are you going to let your people that run your educational component tell you, sit your monkey ass down, we got this? And then when it's all said and done, our kids don't get nothing. They get some little boxes that look like schools with nothing. Are you going to stand up? Are you going to stand up? Because I'm going to be honest with some of y'all. I'm tired standing up. I'm tired. I'm fed up and I'm tired and I don't want to do it no more some days. But you lucky God has a hold on me. Because the day that I stop, you're going to get the business. Hold on a second. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all, I got some stuff I need to work on. And hopefully we can have the podcast back up Friday. The computers went down last week and they got to change a few things, but we're working on it to make sure that we can have the talk that from a conservative perspective back up Friday. I really do enjoy you guys. You always have great insight. And I know some nights I go so hard and the pain is unreal. But I need you to clearly understand. You either gonna stand up now or risk the chance. In less than 10 years of being a slave again. It's the reason I'm the best in the business. Every night, 7 o'clock. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter now. Yeah, we on Twitter. I want you to get on the phone and call somebody, man. Tell them that little dude at it again every night, man. I am the 5-star general. Say, man, I love y'all, appreciate y'all. I got some work to do. Until tomorrow, I'll holler at you.